In this video, you will learn how to construct the circumcenter of a triangle. So just a few things about the circumcenter. It is the intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of each side. So you're going to perform the construction for perpendicular bisector, but you're just going to have to do it 3 times so that you will find the intersection of those. The reason that this is important is that it's the center of the circumscribed circle. So that means the circle that goes around the outside of the triangle. It will hit all 3 vertices. So just a few other points. If you have an acute triangle, your circumcenter will be inside. In a right triangle, it will always be on the longest side or the hypotenuse. And in an obtuse triangle, the circumcenter will be on the outside of the triangle. So to look at how to make this construction, we're going to pull out our straight edge and our compass. So just to review how to make perpendicular bisectors, what you do is you put your compass point on one of the vertices. So on the end of a line segment, or in this case on one of the vertices, and you want to make sure that you have your compass set to more than half the length. So you want to make sure that you are over halfway between the 2 endpoints. So to create a perpendicular bisector, once you have your compass over halfway, you're going to create an arc, and it's going to go above and below. And once you do it on one side, you want to make sure you keep your compass at the same distance, and then create another arc on the other endpoint so that it crosses both above and below your line segment. I'm just going to clean this up just a little bit so that I don't have all these extra lines. Okay, so once I have my marks above and below the line, to draw that perpendicular bisector, I'm going to use my straight edge to line up both of those intersections. And I am going to draw a straight line along that straight edge that connects those 2 points. So here's my first perpendicular bisector. So it's perpendicular to this side of the triangle, and remember that it's going through the midpoint. So the perpendicular bisector can be used to create a perpendicular line and find the midpoint. So to find the circumcenter of the triangle, I'm going to continue making these perpendicular bisectors from all 3 different sides. So for my next one, let's do this side on the left. So remember, go over halfway and create your arcs so that they will intersect above and below. So I've got it from this side, and now I'm just going to go to my next vertex and make an arc from that vertex with the same distance. And then to create that perpendicular bisector using my straight edge, I will line up those 2 intersection points and draw my straight line. So this straight line should go through both of those intersections. So since we're doing this construction to all the sides, it might be helpful to clean up some of your lines that you use to make it. So I'm just going to take away these arcs and try to not mess with the other line I've already created. just so as I continue making these, it's a little bit easier to see what I've done. And so it's okay to do this on your paper. I'm going to try to leave those X's where I made my lines though, just in case I need to go back and lengthen it at all. All right, so I've got one more side. And my process is the same. So put your compass on a vertex and then make sure that you are over half the length of the line. Make your arc above and below. And then move to the next vertex. Make that arc above and below. So I'll go in and clean this up just a little bit, leaving those intersections. I can take the rest of it away, just so that I know what I'm trying to use my straight edge to go through. And then I'll make my straight line. So if everything is gone right, you should notice that all three of these lines intersect at that same point. And that point where they intersect, that is called the circumcenter. So this right here is the circumcenter. So the significance of this point in the middle, the circumcenter, is that it is the center of the circumscribed circle. So to draw that circle, what we're going to do is we're going to put our compass point on that circumcenter, that point where all those lines crossed. And then I'm going to put my compass, my pencil, on one of the vertices of that triangle. And then if you draw that circle with that same length, notice that it hits all of the vertices. So the circumcenter is equidistant from the vertices. So it's the perpendicular bisectors. It makes the circumscribed circle, and it is equidistant, meaning the same distance from the vertices.